Hi, all. It's Mrs. Mormon. I'm going to talk about day 2 of distance learning. Regardless of whether you are in Mrs. Bacher's class or my class, you are listening to the correct audio video. So, with that said, here is one of my Schoology courses. If you are in Mrs. Bacher's class, yours will look similar. It's not going to look the same, but the information I'm going to give you is the same for either class. So, this is what you'll see if you're in my cohort or in my classes for sections. The first place that I'm going to ask you to go to is where it says Distance Learning Weekly Lessons. I'm going to click on this, and I have my 2 days. Yesterday, you were asked to fill out a Google form that was labeled Planning for Independent Reading. Today, you're going to be asked to upload a document that's titled Executive Functioning Survey. You're going to upload that into Notability. We're going to ask that you fill it out, and then after you've filled it out, you're going to save it and then submit it into the assignment folder available within this folder. So I'm going to click on September 8th and 9th. This is what you should have done yesterday, which was the Planning for Independent Reading. If you forgot to do that, please make sure you do that today. Today, you guys are going to do the Executive Functioning Survey. If I click on this, it should open up to a document that looks like this. You need to upload this into Notability. I'm just going to kind of show you the PDF document of it. This is a questionnaire for executive skills. These are skills that we build as people, and they grow the older that we become. But we want to build on these skills because they help us with our organization, prioritization, our time management, things that not only do we need in school, but just in everyday life. So this is going to give us an idea of how you're sitting right now with your executive functioning skills. So after you've put this into Notability, you're going to fill it out. Notice that you have a, I can't think of what it's called, but a linear number in which you can rank yourself. 1, the lowest number, means that this is a big problem. You have a hard time with what the item is. A 5 means that you don't have any problem at all. So make sure you're paying attention to that so you don't end up with skewed numbers. So if I looked at this first question where it says, I act on impulse, I need to ask myself, impulse means that I do things without thinking first. So am I acting on impulse? Is that a big problem, moderate problem, mild problem, slight problem, or no problem? I started doing this. Whoopsies. Oh gosh, I don't know what I just did. There we go. I started doing this on my own. And this is not working. Where is it? There it is. To kind of show you what this might look like. So I said I act on impulse. I gave myself a 4. This is a slight problem. Sometimes I act on impulse, but most of the times I think through my actions. Number 2, it asks, I get in trouble for talking too much in class. I think about what it was like when I was in middle school, and absolutely, it was a mild problem. Sometimes I was talking when I wasn't supposed to. I say things without thinking. I said this is no problem because I'm very aware of what I'm saying because I want to make sure that I never hurt somebody's feelings or make people offended. So then I added up my 3 scores, my 4, 3, 5, and that equals 12. And then I stopped there. Notice that these are questions 1, 2, and 3. That is one chunk. And now I'm going to go on to the second one. Number 4 says I'll do it later and then forget about it. This is actually something still to this day that if I don't write it down, I say this a lot, I'll do it later, and then I completely forget about it. So I wrote that it is a moderate problem for me, a number 2. I forget homework assignments or forget to bring home needed materials. I'm really good at writing things down now, but occasionally with just having a life, this will happen. So I rated myself as a 3, as a mild problem. And then last, I lose or misplace belongings such as coats, notebooks, sports equipment, etc. I don't misplace those things, but I wanted to give myself a lower score so I can show you guys how to do this. But I added up my 2, my 3, and my 1, and this gave me the lower score of a 6. Notice that 1 through 3, I got a 12, and 4, 5, and 6, I got a 6. if you are looking at your Notability document and you go through all of these, so you have 1 all the way down to 33, then you end up with a key that looks like this. Okay, notice here where it says items 1 through 3. Remember, they're chunked together, and that's why you added them. So 1 through 3 is here. You added up those scores to make the total score. And you do that for every single one. So I'm going to go to where mine is. Sorry if this is confusing you. I have my key here. 1 through 3, I got a number 12. That was one of my highest numbers. My highest numbers go in my skill strengths. So what I'm going to write here is response inhibition, because 1 through 3 is response inhibition. I'm really good at that. And that's something that you'll talk about with Miss Baca or Miss Mormon when you guys get back to school. 4 through 6, the next one, was my working memory. This is remembering to bring things home. This is a weakness of mine. It's my lowest numbers, so I wrote down working memory. I only gave you guys 2 examples. You're going to go through all of them, and you're going to pick your top 3 strengths, so your 3 highest numbers, and then you are going to pick your top weaknesses, which are your 3 lowest numbers. And that's it. So you are clicking, remember, in Schoology, you are making sure to click on the Executive Functioning Survey. You're putting it into Notability, you're filling it out and finding out your weaknesses and strengths. Once you've done that, you are going to submit it into our completed Executive Function Survey. You're going to click on this. Yours is looking different because I have the teacher viewpoint, but there should be a little box that says submit. You're going to do that. If it's not letting you, double check, are you logged into your ISD 192 Google email? Because if you are not, that's probably the reason why, and that'll kind of help you troubleshoot. Hopefully that answers some questions for your day 2 of distance learning. As always, if you have questions, please let us know. Just remember that we're teaching during the day, but once we reach that point when we can sit down and look at our computers to help our distance learners, we are more than willing to help you. Happy learning!